Today we will explore a little-known approach inspired by Buddhist wisdom to keep our bones and joints strong and healthy. Discover ancient teachings that blend spiritual practices with practical advice to care for your body and enhance your quality of life. Join us as we unveil ancient secrets that can transform your physical and spiritual well-being, helping you achieve a more balanced and fulfilling life. Let's get started. While most of those fantastic purifying springs turned out to be mere mirages, modern science has confirmed that certain natural substances found in herbs, fruits, and other foods do possess remarkable protective effects against cellular wear and tear, acting to slow down and even reverse many markers of aging. One of the world's leading experts on longevity and regenerative health is undoubtedly the internationally recognized ethnobotanist Tao Ruspoli. Hailing from Italian nobility, Tao has dedicated his entire adult life to traversing the globe in search of natural secrets to cure practically any ailment and restore youthful vitality through the wisdom of ancestral medicine. He has worked hand in hand with shamans, Taoist monks, and hermits from Taoist and Malay traditions, who possess arcane knowledge about the healing power of plants, mushrooms, minerals, and other exotic elements from the pharmacopoeia of nature. His more than 3 decades of intensive study around the world have earned him unprecedented prestige as an authority in the field of longevity and millenary therapies to combat the passage of time. However, without a doubt, his crowning achievement that will pass into posterity is the extraordinary documentary The Sacred Science, where he meticulously records the inspiring healing journeys of several terminal patients who desperately seek help at the mythical Peach Clinic, hidden deep in the Amazon rainforest. This clinic is run by a wise Mazatec healer, Don Agustin Rivas Vazquez, who at 117 years old successfully treats them with ancient herbal formulas, energetic rituals, and spiritual disciplines. The film narrates in first person the physical, mental, and spiritual healing odysseys undertaken by these patients to overcome ailments such as lupus, Parkinson's disease, and terminal breast cancer. They achieve this through the extraordinary natural treatments provided by the Mazatec shaman, passed down orally through generations. Despite his advanced age, he displays impressive vitality and mental clarity, the fruits of his deep understanding of sacred plants and altered states of consciousness that allow him to access intuitive diagnosis and the most effective vibrational cleansing rituals for each individual. The revelations presented in this documentary are of extraordinary depth and scope, irrefutably showing the power that traditional therapeutic methods, in combination with energetic and spiritual disciplines, have to activate our innate healing potential and produce what conventional medicine considers miraculous spontaneous healings. For Tao Ruspoli, the most important message he seeks to convey through his acclaimed film is this: the ability to self-heal resides within each one of us. His documentary could well be titled The Infinite Power You Carry Within, as with the right tools to access our powerful internal healing system, absolutely any disease or cellular degeneration can be reversed, no matter how advanced it may seem. Everything we need has been within us since the dawn of time. Starting from this conviction that motivated him to travel the world throughout his life, documenting the most closely guarded medical secrets of indigenous peoples, Tao Ruspoli is currently fully engaged in a new ambitious project, nothing less than establishing the first self-sustainable community on the planet, entirely based on the principles of extreme longevity and the teachings on radical increases in quality and life expectancy obtained from the Blue Zones, the 5 regions of the world with the highest concentration of centenarians in optimal physical and mental condition. This initiative combines cutting-edge techno-scientific advances with the traditional lifestyle, diet, and healing practices of these remote blue zones, where residents regularly reach or exceed 100 years while maintaining enviable vitality due to their harmonious connection with the rhythms of nature. The community will be located on a 500-hectare expanse in the depths of the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, one of the aforementioned blue zones, and is being sponsored through a multi-million-dollar grant from the U.S. National Science Foundation. The project will feature an ultra-modern longevity center for constant monitoring of over 100 health biomarkers in each resident, as well as facilities for hydroponics, sustainable energy, and state-of-the-art satellite technology combined with 25 Adobe cabins to accommodate participating families who will lead a simple existence following the recommendations on diet, physical activity, stress management, rest, circadian rhythms, social interaction, and introspective practices formulated by Ruspoli based on his 35 years of research on the subject, alongside the most reputable experts around the globe. The experiment, dubbed Reagan Village, aims to conclusively demonstrate the synergistic power of advanced technology combined with the beneficial disciplines of body, mind, and spirit developed over millennia to elevate all physical and psychosomatic indicators of the human organism to the point of completely reversing aging, thus achieving what several visionary scientists already consider the next great leap in the evolution of humanity, attaining biological immortality through a deep understanding of how to subtly yet profoundly manipulate our inner biology and biochemistry through specific inputs such as food, supplements, physical and meditative exercises, intermittent fasting, scheduled rest, and even elevated intentions and positive emotions. Follow me in this fascinating visual documentary where you will find all the details of this ambitious project set to radically change conventional notions about human aging from the great master ethnobotanist Tao Ruspoli. The sun began to set behind the mountains, tinting the sky with a coppery orange hue. Bo walked slowly along the winding path that meandered through the forest, admiring the autumn beauty surrounding him. The leaves of the maples and cherries illuminated the path with their reddish and golden tones. Bo had travelled for long weeks from his small hometown at the foot of the Xiaoshan mountain range to find the revered Master Z. According to legends, Master Wang had acquired vast knowledge of nature's secrets that allowed him to heal diseases, prolong life, and strengthen the body from within during his years of intense spiritual practice at the Tiyun monastery. At 19 years old, Bo was neither particularly sick nor weak, but since childhood he had felt a profound fascination for the teachings of Zen Buddhism and longed to find a fuller sense of existence. The stories about Master Wang's supposed extraordinary abilities to harness the healing energy of plants and impart wisdom about vitality and longevity to those who became his disciples filled the young man's imagination with ideas about his great desire to explore the mysteries of nature. When he finally arrived at the small monastery hidden among the mountains where Master Wang lived, Bo was kindly welcomed by the resident monks. After informing them about his long journey to become a disciple of Huang, one of the monks guided him along a pebble path that wound through a lush garden filled with fruit trees to a modest wooden lodging, the home of Master Wang. Master Wang was a tall, very slender man of indeterminate age. His long silver hair fell freely down his back. He wore a simple saffron robe and seemed to float rather than walk as he came out to greet Bo. The most remarkable characteristic about him were his bright jade-green eyes, which radiated an unwavering intensity. Bo bowed ceremoniously before the master, who asked him to rise and invited him to sit on a stone bench in front of his cabin, where a stream flowed gently. The first words that came from Bo's lips were to express his desire to become the master's disciple. He wanted to learn everything the master could reveal to enrich his wisdom, broaden his perspective of the world, and enhance his internal vitality. Upon hearing the request, a smile spread across the angular face of Wang, who responded with a voice choked by a light laugh. "I see flames of enthusiasm dancing in your eyes, young man, and I admire that vocation that has driven you to undertake such a long journey, leaving behind your family and the village where you grew up to find me. However, I fear I cannot simply accept you as my disciple without more. You must first undergo a test to verify the purity of your intention and the strength of your will." Disappointed, yet eager to prove his worth, Bo implored the master to tell him what the test would be. With his eyes closed, Wang adopted a contemplative expression that gave him an even more enigmatic appearance as he replied slowly, "You see, bone health is essential for the vitality of the physical body. Without strong bones to support the other organs and tissues, the quality of life deteriorates rapidly. Over my many years exploring the hidden secrets in plants and the energies of nature, I have discovered very little-known remedies that allow one to nourish the bones from within, making them denser, more elastic, and resilient to the point that they can heal ailments and miraculously prolong life. Your test will consist of beginning an intensive treatment guided by my instructions to strengthen your own bones, and if you manage to develop exceptional bone health in the coming months, I will allow myself to accept you as a disciple to impart more knowledge to you." Bo listened to the master's words, captivated and feeling increasingly excited. He wanted to begin the challenge as soon as possible. Wang seemed to read his thoughts, for he immediately added, "But you must know, young fool, that this will not be an easy test. It will require great discipline, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication from you. You must commit completely to the treatment if you truly wish for successful results that make you worthy of my wisdom. Even so, do you feel capable and willing?" Bo's response came swiftly, and with a ceremonial bow of his head and torso, he solemnly expressed, "Venerable Master, I give you my word of honor at this very moment that I commit with all my will and determination to fulfill the test you have imposed on me, no matter the difficulties and sacrifices that the treatment to strengthen my skeletal system may demand. My deepest desire is to become your disciple, to access the secret knowledge about vitality, longevity, and healing energy that you possess. This test I must pass represents a small price to pay for the transcendent wisdom I am sure you will impart to me if I succeed in strengthening my bones in 6 months under your guidance." Master Wang smiled, pleased by Bo's determination, and then indicated that he should prepare to begin the treatment the next day, right on the full moon. That night, he slept in a small room provided by the monastery for guests. At dawn, he shared breakfast with the monks, consisting of rice porridge with steamed vegetables and hot green tea. He then presented himself in front of Wang's cabin to start the first stage of bone strengthening under his supervision. Bo rushed to respond enthusiastically, "Venerable Master, I have felt better than ever. I wake up every day with energy, feeling stronger and more flexible. My back and knee pains have completely disappeared. My bones no longer creak, and I feel a vibrant internal vitality that I didn't have before." "Without a doubt, the treatment has been a complete success so far." "I'm glad to hear that," Wang nodded. "You have followed my instructions with discipline and determination. That will be rewarded. The time has come for you to learn the next secret, to continue strengthening your bones from within." Bo leaned forward, a sign of interest and anticipation. Master Wang pulled a rolled parchment from the folds of his robe and held it up high. "This parchment contains the formula for a very special infusion. Drinking it twice a day will help you better absorb calcium for your bones due to its unique properties. It has passed down through generations in my family and is highly protected. This infusion contains a secret ingredient, the plant known as tar, horsetail rich in silica, calcium, potassium, and other essential trace elements for bone health. Mixed with other herbs in an ancestral recipe, it greatly enhances the effects you have experienced so far." Bo's eyes widened in astonishment. A secret and exclusive remedy revealed by Master Wang himself. He couldn't believe his good fortune as he attentively watched the master slowly unroll the parchment to expose the promised recipe. Written in black ink with firm, elegant strokes, the instructions specified combining horsetail roots, dandelion stems, hibiscus flowers, and white carob bark in certain amounts, then boiling them all together and drinking the resulting concentrated liquid. With this we will continue enhancing your treatment, Wang explained, re-rolling the parchment. Horsetail will strengthen your bones. Dandelion will purify your blood so that more nutrients can reach you. Hibiscus will protect your kidneys, and carob will improve your calcium metabolism to fix it in the skeleton. Bo listened in awe but also excitement. It was invaluable information. By the next full moon, I want you to have gathered enough ingredients and prepared at least 8 batches of this special infusion, following the exact proportions. Read it daily, and by the time we meet again, you will have clearly felt its powerful effects. But don't forget to continue with the rest of the instructions about exercises, herbs, and mantras that I've given you. Do you accept this new challenge, young Bo? He hesitated before fervently exclaiming, "Yes, Master. I commit to following your instructions to the letter and experiencing the benefits of this ancestral secret infusion for my bones. I can't wait to see the results by the next full moon." And thus began the second stage of Bo's bone treatment. In the following days, he tirelessly gathered the ingredients as Wang had instructed. Horsetail roots from the damp areas near the stream, hibiscus flowers from the bushes along the front path, white carob bark from the eastern forest, and dandelion stems and leaves from the monastery meadows. Once he had more than enough quantities, he proceeded to prepare the secret recipe. He cleaned and chopped the fresh plants, weighed the portions on a copper scale, boiled everything in pure water inside a clay pot for half an hour, and then let it rest. He strained the liquid, pouring it into previously disinfected bamboo jars with alcohol and honey, and stored these jars in a cool, dark place, just as Master Wang recommended. From that day onward, Bo drank half a jar of the herbal preparation twice a day, early in the morning and at sunset. Shortly after starting this routine, Bo began to notice drastic changes in his body. He felt lighter when moving, as if he no longer weighed on his bones. His spine appeared straighter and elongated. His wrists and ankles overflowed with flexibility and dexterity. When running through the forest, he felt his strides were more powerful and faster than ever. Even his heart rate, temperature, and blood pressure had decreased considerably, granting him a permanent feeling of calm and equanimity. It was as if every cell in his body vibrated in complete harmony and perfect balance. Physically, he could feel greater density and hardness in his bones. They no longer hurt when pressed with his fingers, nor did he hear any creaking when stretching or doing yoga poses. His muscles appeared longer and stronger as well. Another full moon arrived, marking the time for a new lesson with the venerable Master Wang. Bo had worked hard to prepare the mysterious herbal infusion to strengthen his bones as he had been instructed. He had gathered all the ingredients, cleaned and chopped the plants, boiled the concentrated liquid, and drank the sacred potion twice a day without fail. The effects were rapid and astonishing. In just a few weeks, Bo gained impressive physical strength and vigour. His muscles seemed like taut ropes under his skin. He had more strength than ever in his arms and legs, an upright and impeccable posture, and moved with the agility and lightness of a panther. His reflexes were as fast as lightning, and his bones and joints creaked much less when performing flips and intense muscle-stretching exercises. His spine appeared as flexible as that of a feline, and the waves of energy emanating from his spine to every corner of his body were almost palpable. That luminous morning, Bo hurried to meet Master Wang, who awaited him peacefully seated in a lotus position by the babbling stream, with an expression that conveyed absolute tranquility. His long grey hair floated with the gentle morning breeze. "Come closer, young Bo," he greeted him with a gesture of his bony hand. "The time has come to continue your learning. Tell me, have you kept drinking the herbal infusion I indicated under the last full moon?" "Yes, venerable master." Bo respectfully nodded. "Not a single day has passed without me drinking the preparation twice since our last meeting, and I must say that the effects have been remarkable. I feel stronger, more agile and vigorous than ever. My muscles seem like those of a tiger, and my bones radiate vitality. I am deeply grateful for sharing something so valuable with me. Wang's emerald green eyes seemed to become clearer and brighter at Bo's enthusiastic report. "I'm pleased to hear that, young friend. You have progressed well, but this is not the time to rest on your laurels. There is much ahead in your internal transformation and much to learn." He paused significantly before continuing. "The time has come for you to learn another ancient secret for bone health that very few possess in this era." With that, the master pulled from the folds of his tunic a yellowed roll of parchment tied with a purple cord, and held it up before Bo's eyes, who held his breath in reverent anticipation. The ancient sages of Chinese medicine deeply understood the healing power of countless plants, roots, and fungi in our forests, he began to recount. Thanks to them, these wonderful healing herbs such as ginseng, reishi mushroom, and astragalus have been benefiting the health of those who know how to take advantage of them for thousands of years. But none are more miraculous than a certain undervalued vegetable known as bitter herb. Bo listened fascinated, with all his senses focused on the master's words. Another secret remedy of antiquity, this tall vegetable with dark green leaves, which your tongue would find bitter, holds extraordinary medicinal properties, particularly for protecting and generating the skeletal system, Wang continued. I am referring to broccoli, part of the cruciferous family. What you do not suspect is that your ancestors, by cultivating this plant for centuries, adapted it to enhance its natural healing qualities, turning it into a panacea. Bo's eyes widened in disbelief. Broccoli, that common vegetable in his village that he used to eat boiled as a child, had such hidden properties. Wang must have read the concern on his face, because he let out a soft laugh and added, "That's right, young one. This vegetable, so easy to grow and underestimated by so many, can actually be extraordinary. Broccoli contains high amounts of vitamin K, essential for producing osteocalcin, so eating it regularly reduces the loss of calcium from bones, strengthening them from within." Bo's mental gears began to accelerate rapidly. Processing the new information, Bo began to understand that Wang's interest in revealing the secrets of broccoli made sense. It was a perfect plant ally for his mission to strengthen his bone health. Opening the scroll, the master showed him a colourful illustration of the mentioned cruciferous vegetable. On the reverse side, elegant calligraphy detailed a recipe that Bo eagerly scrutinized. Ingredients such as sesame seeds, ginger root, garlic bulbs, and cinnamon powder accompanied the broccoli in a stew that, as Wang explained, not only enhanced its nutrients but also maximized absorption into the body. Bo quickly realized that adding this special broccoli preparation to his diet, along with the herbal infusion, would be another step toward his goal of unbreakable bone health. He couldn't wait to get started, so after bidding farewell to the master with a bow, he set off to gather the missing ingredients from the village. Upon returning with the cinnamon, ginger, garlic, and sesame seeds, he hurried to wash and chop a generous amount of fresh broccoli from the monastery garden. He lit a fire in the kitchen quarters and set a cast-iron pot for sautéing. He poured in sesame oil and began to stir-fry the mixture just as Wang had taught him. First the ginger, then the garlic, incorporating the cinnamon, and finally adding the sliced broccoli, cooking it only until it was slightly al dente. He sprinkled toasted sesame seeds and a touch of sea salt at the end. After eating the revitalizing broccoli stir-fry daily for the past few weeks, Bo felt as if every cell in his body overflowed with energy and vitality. His muscles seemed like steel fibers under his skin. His bones radiated an unbreakable inner strength. He had also incorporated a habit suggested by Master Wang, morning walks barefoot on the dew-soaked grass in front of the monastery. According to the teachings of the venerable sage, this allowed him to connect the energy meridians of his feet with the earth's telluric energy, reinforcing his bones and immune system in the process. That bright morning, after his evening walk and practicing his muscle-strengthening exercises, Bo had breakfast with the monks, a bowl of oatmeal with almond milk and poppy seeds. Then, Eager as always on the full moon, he headed to the meeting point for his lesson with Wang beneath a blossoming cherry tree. The long-lived master awaited him calmly, sitting cross-legged on a large, smooth stone. Despite his wide and worn garments, Bo noticed that his usually loose grey hair was now neatly braided. As he approached and bowed in respect, Wang opened his jade-green eyes and smiled warmly, gesturing for him to sit on a woven mat in front of him. "Greetings on this beautiful spring morning, young Bo. I'm glad to see you so healthy and strong. You emanate high levels of qi from within," praised Wang in a pleased tone. "This indicates that you have assimilated my teachings and treatments well so far, but it is not time to rest on your laurels. You still have much to learn about vitality and deep health." Bowing his torso in a silent gesture of gratitude, Bo held his mentor's next words in anticipation, wondering what new secret would be revealed to him today to strengthen his bones. Wang extracted from the loose folds of his robe a glass vial containing a greenish liquid. He held it high before Bo's eyes and began to speak slowly. "This potion you see here, young friend, contains a powerful natural supplement that will take your bone treatment to the next level. It is a concentrate made from nettle, a common plant that grows like a weed, usually dismissed as a harmful herb." Bo's eyes widened in amazement. The humble nettle was a healing herb for his bones. Indeed, the underestimated Urtica dioica actually possesses extraordinary properties for purifying the blood, alkalizing the internal pH, and promoting calcium fixation in the bones, Wang explained, noting Bo's astonishment. "For centuries it has been abundantly available around us, waiting to be utilized by more observant minds. Thanks to its high content of vitamin K and minerals like silica and magnesium, it significantly increases bone density, regenerating skeletal tissue." Bo listened, fascinated, absorbing how this modest herb that grew in surrounding gardens and meadows could contain such healing power for him. "In fact, I have incorporated it as the main ingredient in this energizing tonic," the master continued, brandishing the vial before Bo's eyes. "Combined with propolis, maca root, bee pollen, and evening primrose oil, it enhances all the benefits you have experienced so far. Taking your bone health to new heights, I want you to incorporate it into your daily regimen immediately." Wang then extracted from his robe an ancient scroll with frayed edges that contained the recipe for the tonic. Bo listened reverently, memorizing every detail of the herbs and quantities needed to prepare his own dose. "I trust that by the next full moon you will have harvested tender nettles, collected enough pollen, propolis, and maca root to make this powerful mineralizing concentrate. Add 7 drops of it to your morning infusion and stay halfway to your goals," Wang concluded with a sly smile. Bo did just that, dedicating the following days to collecting the indicated ingredients. He harvested abundant nettle shoots with their stems and leaves from a nearby forest clearing, extracted sticky golden pollen from wild beehives using a net tied to a bamboo pole, climbed fruit trees to gather propolis from their hollows, dug up purple maca rhizomes buried in the ground, and collected pressed oil from evening primrose seeds. Once he had everything, he meticulously followed Wang's detailed preparation procedure. He disinfected and cleaned the glass jar, crushed the fresh plants in a mortar until they were pureed, filtered the green juice into the jar, added the pollen, propolis, and essential oil, sealed it tightly, and left it to macerate in the sun for 6 whole days. The result was a potion of intense jade colour and herbal fragrance, just as his mentor had indicated. Bo added 7 drops of the precious tonic each morning to his infusion of horsetail, dandelion, carob, and hibiscus, as well as directly under his tongue before meditating. The changes were evident. Soon his muscle mass toned up quickly, his joints cracked less, and he felt more physical energy than ever. Even his hair and nails seemed strengthened. When he touched his own bones, he noticed greater hardness and density. He was more than prepared for his next meeting with Wang. The morning following his last lesson with Wang, Bo woke up feeling literally bursting with vitality. His entire body seemed to vibrate with renewed energy after incorporating the nettle, propolis, maca, and other mineralizing herbs into his daily regimen. After completing his morning bone yoga exercises and drinking the preparation, Bo set out to explore the surroundings of the monastery. The powerful mental clarity he now possessed, combined with his growing physical strength, allowed him to connect like never before with the lush nature around him. As he walked barefoot on the damp grass beside the forest stream, an intense joy for life flooded every cell of his being. He watched insects and small animals cross his path as if he were seeing them for the first time. The breeze, the singing of the birds, the swaying trees, each element took on new hues for his sharpened senses. Suddenly he heard a voice calling his name. He turned in all directions, searching for its source, but saw no one in the surroundings. Everything was deserted and calm. Yet again he heard the call, this time detecting that it came from above. Looking up towards the top of a massive pine tree, he found the image of none other than Master Wang, sitting placidly on a thick lower branch, staring intently at him. Before Bo could utter a word, Wang agilely jumped down, landing in front of him with the grace of a feline. "Good day to you, Bo," the mentor greeted him, rubbing his palms together. "It's an ideal morning to begin the next stage of your training, wouldn't you agree? And what better place to do it than this wild setting connected to the energies of Mother Earth?" Bo nodded fervently. He was more than ready for the next challenge. "Well, you've already incorporated powerful ingredients into your diet and herbal regimen to strengthen your bones internally," Wang began, crossing his arms within his sleeves. "But to complete the process of regenerating your skeletal system, you must also stimulate your bones externally. It's time for you to learn specific body exercises for this purpose." With that said, the mentor positioned himself in front of Bo, separating his feet to shoulder width, bending his knees, and raising his arms toward the rising sun. "This posture I'm adopting is called the archer in ancient martial arts," he explained. "It opens the body's central energy channel, aligns the spine correctly, and activates bone densification, among other benefits. But you must do it precisely for it to yield results. Observe carefully." Bo watched intently as Wang slowly tensed his entire body like the string of a bow ready to shoot an arrow. He inhaled and exhaled slowly through his nose, focusing his gaze on the horizon. After a few moments, the master gently relaxed the posture to return to the initial upright position, shaking out his arms and legs to release the tension. "Now try it yourself, Bo. Remember to progressively tense your muscles to the maximum while focusing on your breath. Hold the position for a few minutes before relaxing," Wang indicated, stepping back. With great concentration, Bo proceeded to imitate the movement just as his mentor had done. He bent his knees, spread his feet, stretched his arms toward the sun, and slowly tensed every muscle in his body. Initially it took great effort, but he used deep breathing to relax enough to elongate his anatomy even further. After what felt like an eternity, he sighed in relief as he released the posture and relaxed his arms and legs, feeling a pleasant sensation of lightness and warmth. "Excellent for your first time, Bo," Wang congratulated him. "You nearly achieved the perfection of the archer. Practice it daily, alternating with this other movement I will show you now." The master then proceeded to lie on his back on the grass, resting his palms on the ground near his shoulders. Slowly, he lifted his pelvis until achieving a perfect vertical position, supported only by his hands and feet. The image was that of an inverted tree. Bo marvelled at the flexibility and strength Wang displayed despite his age. His muscles must have had the texture of steel. When Wang finally stood up again, the mentor's face looked impassive, as if nothing had required the slightest effort. After weeks of diligently practicing the martial exercises taught by Wang to stimulate and align his skeleton, Bo felt stronger and more agile than ever. His muscles seemed like tense strings under his skin, radiating energy and strength with every movement. His bones, on their part, had acquired the density of granite. They no longer creaked or ached when doing stretches and postures, but had become light and elastic, like solid bars supporting his anatomy. That bright morning, after meditating to the songs of the nightingale perched on the carob tree in front of his cell, and having breakfast with his usual bowl of oatmeal with goji berries, Bo hurried off to meet the revered Master Wang for his lunar lesson. After walking rhythmically through several areas of lush vegetation, he finally spotted the solitary silhouette of the long-lived mentor in his usual meeting spot, seated in lotus position on a smooth rock, facing the crystal-clear stream flowing down from the mountain. As he approached along the gravel path, Bo noticed an unusual detail. Next to the master were various containers, mortars and jars of different sizes, as well as several herbs and roots spread out in an orderly manner on a linen cloth laid on the ground. Was Wang preparing some kind of potion or elixir? Curiosity overwhelmed him. After ceremonially bowing in a sign of respect, Bo looked up and addressed the master, unable to contain himself. "Greetings, Honourable Wang. Please excuse my intrusion, but I couldn't help but notice all these jars and plants beside you. I presume they are intended for making some special preparation. If it's not too presumptuous of me, could you tell me if you intend to reveal to me the secret behind some new medicine or ingredient for my bone treatment today?" The master, whose back was straight in a meditative posture with his palms joined at the centre of his chest, slowly opened his jade-coloured eyes and looked at his pupil with an impassive expression for a few moments. Finally a subtle smile formed on his lips. "Perceptive and eager as always, young Bo," Wang said in a friendly tone. "Indeed, all of this you see here I have prepared with you in mind, and for the continuation of your journey toward optimal bone health through ancient botany. The time has come to reveal to you one of the best-kept secrets of my lineage for generations." The mentor's words captured all of Bo's attention, and he sat up expectantly, his senses heightened. Another arcane remedy was about to be shared with him. Wang took a crystal jar with his gnarled hands containing a dense substance. "What you have before you now is bone marrow in its purest quality," revealed the master, holding up the jar. "Extracted with the utmost care from the bones of young deer, it constitutes a concentrated source of stem cells and natural bone growth factors capable of regenerating cartilage, ligaments, and tendons." Bo listened fascinated. Was it possible to regenerate tissues through an extract from animal bones? Unheard of. "Indeed, the marrow has such healing power that it can practically reverse any chronic illness," Wang assured. "It contains the very progenitor cells that give rise to all life. Now, paying attention to the exact quantities, we will incorporate this panacea along with other ingredients into a formula that will accelerate your path to eternal youth." The wise mentor then extracted from his robe an ancient scroll filled with characters in crimson ink. As he unfolded it before Bo's astonished eyes, he recognized an intricate recipe with proportions of various elements to combine with the essence of bone marrow. Along with it he would mix aloe vera juice, cod liver oil, spirulina extracts, wheat germ, soy lecithin, astragalus root, and deer horn powder. According to the scroll, all of these would act synergistically to enhance the regenerative effect at the cellular level. Bo was coming out of his astonishment, marvelling at the secrets that the universe still had in store for him. After quickly memorizing the preparation steps, he hurried to grind the fresh herbs in the stone mortar and cut the roots and rhizomes as indicated by Wang. The venerable mentor attentively supervised the process, guiding the final mixture of the ingredients into the amber jar according to the strict instructions of the ancestral scroll. "Here is the legendary potion of eternal youth that few humans in this era know about," announced Wang, after sealing the jar with a cork. "Just 7 drops of this panacea each morning will enhance the miracle of cellular renewal within you, rejuvenating every tissue beyond what is imaginable. Use it wisely and prudently, young friend." Bo's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm and gratitude at the magical knowledge revealed by his mentor. He could hardly wait to begin the treatment and elevate his vitality to new levels. Thus, by diligently incorporating the bone marrow potion and other regenerative ingredients into his daily routine, Bo soon marvelled at feeling his strength and vital energy rise to unprecedented heights. His muscles felt like steel fibres beneath his skin, radiating power and speed. His skin appeared smooth and radiant, joint pains disappeared completely, and even his hair and nails seemed to grow faster and stronger after just 1 week. When he looked at his reflection in the lake, his blue eyes shone like sapphires of inhuman purity. After incorporating the miraculous bone marrow potion and other regenerative ingredients into his regimen, he felt an overwhelming energy and vitality circulating throughout his being. His muscles felt like steel fibres beneath his smooth skin, radiating superhuman strength and endurance. Even his mental sharpness and clarity of thought had elevated to extraordinary levels. He could spend hours meditating in a complete state of flow, exploring subtle realms of consciousness that had previously seemed unreachable. That exceptional morning, after completing his morning meditation by the small lotus pond in front of his cell, Bo joyfully headed towards the place where the revered Master Wang awaited him for the lunar lesson. He hurried along the narrow path winding through the thicket, crossing paths with small animals that no longer fled from his presence but approached curiously, as if recognizing his friendly energy. Upon reaching the clearing by the river where he usually met his mentor, Bo marvelled at seeing him executing a complex series of artistic martial movements while wielding an elongated wooden staff. His gestures were graceful, yet very precise, denoting a high degree of mastery. Enchanted, Bo observed for a few moments in respectful silence until Wang concluded the routine with a swift spin of his staff, while executing a flying kick, landing agilely on the ground with the lightness of a feline. "Impressive demonstration, Honourable Master," exclaimed Bo, making a deep bow. "Your movements with the bow convey formidable energy and strength. Do you intend to teach me the handling of martial weapons today?" Wang smiled kindly as he wiped the sweat from his forehead with the wide sleeve of his robe. "You have guessed my intentions perfectly, young apprentice," the mentor confirmed, resting the elongated staff on his right shoulder. "After having internally toned your bones, it is time to protect them externally with skill in martial arts, and no discipline surpasses the long staff in effectiveness." With that, the master handed Bo the formidable dark wooden staff he had wielded moments before. It weighed considerably more than its slender appearance suggested. Upon examining it closely, he noticed several elegantly carved Chinese characters on one end. "This staff belonged to my great-grandfather, the great Master Liang," explained Wang. "It was forged 300 years ago from pressed ebony and bamboo, making it practically indestructible. Now it is yours to use as a channel for your internal energy and protection for your body." Marvelling at the ancestral staff in his hands, Bo felt deeply honoured by the distinction. "I will train tirelessly every morning." "Take your combat position and firmly ground your feet on the earth," indicated Wang, crossing his arms. "The long staff will provide you with reach, strength and protection, but you must master it as an extension of your body. Show me that you possess the potential." Following his instructions, Bo held the staff vertically alongside his face, bending both knees and distributing his weight evenly between his feet. He attempted to channel his internal energy into the elongated wooden artifact, visualizing it as another appendage of his arms. "Excellent, young Bo. Now try some basic movements," encouraged Wang from his observation position. "You can start by rotating the weapon horizontally around your waist to generate momentum and looseness in your wrist." Concentrating fully, Bo tightened his grip and initiated a rotational movement. At first it was difficult to coordinate, but he soon found the exact point of balance that allowed him to flow in his actions. He began to describe slow circles with the tip of the staff in the air, eventually gaining speed and confidence to expand the radius of the turn and encompass his entire surroundings. The whistle of the staff cutting through the wind was hypnotic. "Exquisite, young prodigy," celebrated Wang, bringing his palms together in applause. "You possess a natural talent for this. Let's continue with the next step, the block. This time, try to deflect my staff with yours when I throw it against your side." Swallowing nervously, Bo felt his heart race as he watched the master step back a few meters, also wielding his elongated wooden staff. After a look that seemed to pierce his soul, Wang launched a swift, dry strike directly toward Bo's ribs. Reacting purely on instinct, Bo managed to intercept the attack at the last second, deflecting the wooden projectile with his own. The thunder of the impact shook every nerve in his body. "Superb," Wang cheered with a laugh. "Excellent reflexes, boy. Let's see how you respond to this onslaught." And the lesson continued, filled with strikes, blocks, and thrusts, with Bo stoically resisting each charge, sweating profusely but determined to master the art of the long staff, no matter the cost. As night fell, bruised but satisfied, he bid farewell to his mentor with a bow and headed to his cell, happy to now carry a legendary elongated staff as additional protection for his bones. He would continue to practice at dawn before resuming the preparation of the ointment made of genan and mistletoe bark for further healing. After weeks of hard morning training, wielding his combat staff and practicing relentlessly every attack and defense movement taught by Master Wang, Bo felt his reflexes and physical strength elevated to superhuman levels. His muscles felt like tight springs under his skin, reacting with lightning speed to any stimulus. His bones, as compact as rocks, now endured the hardest blows without flinching. Each morning upon completing his practice, a profound sense of power and incremental control filled him. That luminous morning, after meditating at dawn on a rock by the river, and having his usual bowl of oatmeal with goji berries and ginseng powder, Bo set off for his customary meeting with Wang for the lesson during the full moon. He traversed the narrow, spiralling path through the forest, and soon spotted in the distance the familiar silhouette of his mentor standing by a small rope bridge that spanned the river, watching the torrent flow. As he approached along the slope to greet him, Bo noticed a strange expression in Wang's jade eyes. They seemed to radiate an even greater luminosity and liveliness than usual. The aura around him was almost blinding. After ceremoniously prostrating himself in a gesture of respect, Bo couldn't contain his curiosity. "Greetings, Honourable Master. I can't help but notice an unusual magnetism and energy emanating from you this morning. You seem more elevated than ever in mental clarity and vitality. Have you attained a new, higher state of consciousness and well-being through your spiritual practices?" Wang's enigmatic smile seemed to widen even more at the perceptive observation of his pupil. He nodded slowly before responding, "Learn well to read the auras of those around you, Bo. Indeed, after spending 3 full days fasting inside a cave on Mount Lu, meditating without rest while following the harmonious songs of the nightingales, I have expanded my consciousness to sublime dimensions, transcending the mundane limitations of space and time." Bo listened in wonder at the explanation. 3 days in complete sensory abstinence, touching angelic planes unheard of. "Now, young friend, after guiding you along the path of supreme bone health through herbs, tonic exercises, and martial arts, it is time for you to also learn the highest energetic practices to access the superior vibrational planes where the mind merges with the universe," Wang revealed emphatically, enchanted by the prospect of such dimensional transcendence. Bo fervently expressed, "Yes, Honourable Master. I beg you to consider me prepared to guide me on the path toward the expansion of consciousness that you have so masterfully achieved. I wish for my being to transcend this mundane reality, merging ecstatically with the cosmic source until becoming one with all." Wang's piercing eyes seemed to illuminate even more intensely, radiating infinite wisdom. His deep voice resonated in Bo's ears as he slowly declared, "So be it. The time has come for you to learn the highest secret, the ancestral practice that will allow you to transcend everything, merging your individual essence with the omnipotent transcendent unity underlying the fabric of existence. It is the masterful vibrational technique known as the cosmic mantra chant." Subsequently, the master ceremoniously led Bo along a hidden path behind dense thickets, winding through increasingly wild landscapes to a mysterious nearby cave, whose entrance was flanked by gigantic blocks of granite engraved with intricate luminescent symbols. As they entered the cave behind Wang, the temperature dropped drastically. The rocky walls were studded with stalactites and stalagmites of curious shapes. Upon reaching the deepest part of the chamber, the slope flattened out into a more open space, dimly lit by light filtering in from a higher crack. There Wang sat cross-legged on a large flat stone in the centre of the grotto and silently invited Bo to imitate him on another rock in front of him. Once in a meditative position, Bo watched in wonder as his mentor closed his eyes and began to intone a strange, unintelligible chant of varied tones that reverberated like echoes between the cave walls. His voice transitioned from a deep rumble to a high whistle with astonishing ease. Soon Bo found himself enveloped in the hypnotic melody. A vibrant and warm feeling of weightlessness filled him, making his eyelids feel heavy until they closed. His breathing synchronized with the rhythm of the extraordinary chant. Then, after what seemed like a delicious eternity of sensory abandonment, rocked by the cosmic tune, a sublime consciousness exploded within his mind, filling every corner of his being with infinite ecstasy, melting away any notion of individuality into a vast ocean of transcendent peace and joy. He had managed to access the highest vibrational planes that only the great enlightened beings knew through the secret technique of the cosmic mantra. He was now prepared to receive the final regenerative secrets from Master Wang and complete his transformation into a semi-immortal superhuman. After the Venerable Master Wang revealed to him the mystical technique of the cosmic mantra chant to access elevated states of transcendental consciousness, Bo dedicated long hours throughout a moon cycle to perfecting the extraordinary dimensional effect of intoning the intriguing chant in the initiatory cave. He routinely managed to strip away all egoic identification, merging his individual being into the abyssal oceans of cosmic bliss that make up ultimate reality. Each cell of his physical body now seemed infused with an energetic nectar that transformed everything in its path, even requiring less sleep, feeling every dawn brimming with the vigor of youth. That radiant morning, after chanting the sacred mantra until reaching a state of unified consciousness with the divine source of being, Bo set off eagerly for his lesson with Wang, sensing that the great moment to complete the supreme secret for perpetual bone regeneration was finally arriving. Feeling his feet almost not touching the ground, he floated more than walked among the trees of the forest toward the meeting point by the small lake of golden lotuses, where his mentor awaited him, unperturbed. Upon arriving before the venerable presence of the Master, radiating wisdom in absolute form with his penetrating emerald gaze from his lotus position on a polished rock, Bo instantly felt himself rise to the highest and clearest vibration of inner peace, receiving the silent telepathic welcome from Wang without any words exchanged. The mentor closed his eyes and began softly intoning the first notes of the cosmic mantra that his pupil already knew. It was an inevitable invitation to transcend worldly dimensions together and drink from the source of all during the session. Soon, Bo felt enraptured by the masterful cadence of the enchanting chant that activated the mystical triggers in his subconscious, catapulting his consciousness beyond time and space for an immeasurable period, while he was ecstatically merged with the effervescent luminosity of the unified field of the universe. Bo silently witnessed memorable revelations as waves of thought were emitted by the spirit of Master Wang. First, he learned how to complete the transmutation of the illusory ego by absorbing all residual darkness from his psyche until merging it with the light, then transcending physical aging by reprogramming limiting beliefs about mortality, and initiating the body into the eternally renewing cycles of nature through the final elixir of the rejuvenating golden flower, the mythical golden champa, which grew in remote caves of the Himalayas, where few expeditions ever reached. Finally, he learned how to perpetuate the regenerative marvel indefinitely by sharing the supreme secret under initiatory oath with every virtuous aspirant who completes the alchemical process, emulating the legacy of his ancient guardian lineage, thus spreading the golden panacea to conquer aging and death throughout the world. When the multidimensional spell gradually dissipated, returning him to ordinary consciousness, the young aspirant opened his eyes with the vision of his mission now clearly defined. The venerable Master Wang smiled kindly at him, his features radiating benevolence as with an eloquent gesture he pointed in the direction of Mount Kailash in Tibet, the place where, according to ancient legends transmitted telepathically, the mythical flower of eternal youth grew. Bo instinctively knew he had to embark without delay on the journey to those legendary mountains to find the legendary golden champa, prepare the alchemical ointment, and ceremonially consume it at the hands of the master in the sacred cave of the Blue Lotus to complete his transformation into an immortal. The definitive journey was about to begin, the search for the source of eternal youth that has obsessed humanity since ancient times to reverse aging and drive markers of aging. Until next time, dear friends.